Hi, everybody. Vicky here, and welcome to Foods That Heal interview series, where we explore the power of food and show you how to eat in order to live a healthier and longer life. So today we're talking about something that everybody wants to know is how to properly eat to lose weight. So to do that, I have invited Dr. Pamela Fergusson. Hi, Dr. Fergusson.
Hello, lovely to be here
Welcome.
with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Dr. Fergusson is a vegan registered dietitian with a PhD in nutrition. She is in private practice in Toronto, Ontario, and has worked in Africa, UK, United States, and Canada in research, education, community nutrition, and public health nutrition. She is a marathon and ultra marathon runner, and she is an avid vegan baker, and she loves to bake with her four children. So again, welcome to Foods That Heal.
Thank you.
And I must say, I'm very impressed with your portfolio in regards to working with different organizations and in different countries. So I want to know how your passion for healthy eating started, and why did you become a registered dietitian?
Well, I guess my passion for healthy eating probably started when I was in university, when I first had to learn to cook for myself. I have to say, when I was at home, my mother did most of the cooking, and I didn't really think that much about nutrition. And it wasn't until I started to learn to cook for myself and I really saw the difference that fresh ingredients made in the food. That's when I started getting really excited about healthy eating.
Okay.
And I went to a seminar when I was in university, and they were talking about the power of nutrition to prevent disease. At the time, I had been considering becoming a physician, and I went to this seminar and learned that 80% of chronic disease has nutrition as at least part of the contributing factor. So when we think of diabetes, heart disease, cancers, all the biggest killers that we face in Canada and the US, I thought, well, why not work in prevention? Why wait until disease is already developed?
Right.
Why not try to prevent disease? And that's when I got very excited about nutrition and decided to become a dietitian.
Okay, wow. And so for those of you out there listening to this who doesn't know the difference in different type of profession, can you please explain, Dr. Fergusson, what is the difference between dietitian, a nutritionist, and a health coach?
Sure. So a registered dietitian is a regulated profession.
Okay.
So in order to become a dietitian, there's a specific course material that you must cover in university. You must take a nutrition undergraduate university course that is accredited in Canada, by Dietitians of Canada, in America, by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And then you must complete an internship, and the internship is usually a year long and has specific competencies that you must pass. And you go through rotations in food service, in clinical nutrition, in community nutrition, public health research, all of these topics in order to prepare you to have a well-rounded and scientifically based expertise in nutrition.
Okay.
And being a nutritionist, there's a much wider variety in the type of education that you could potentially have in order to become a nutritionist. It's not a regulated title. So some people who are nutritionists are very well educated in nutrition. Others may have just taken a short-term course, and anyone can call themselves a nutritionist. So if you're looking to hire a nutritionist, just ask some more questions about what education they have. Make sure that it's something that you feel comfortable with. Do have a good look at their website. If they're writing articles, see if they're using science to back up their information. Always, when you're looking to hire a professional, I think, have a look, make sure they're a good fit for you, and also make sure you feel comfortable with their credentials.
Right.
A health coach, once again, this is not a regulated profession. So some people will have done a coaching course. Others may just decide to call themselves a health coach. and there's no professional body that will stop them from doing that. So, so again, someone may have a lot of expertise in their own journey that they've gone through to be healthier, and they want to share that, and that's wonderful. A health coach may help you in setting certain goals and working towards them, but they may or may not be working from an evidence-based perspective, really looking at the scientific literature. So if really understanding the science is important to you, then perhaps a dietitian is the right route. But there are excellent professionals in all of these categories, but only a dietitian is a regulated profession.
Right, and I like the fact that you say it's very important to look at their credential, but also find someone that you can relate to and you feel comfortable with.
Exactly. You'll get a sense even from looking at someone's webpage. Often someone's personality comes across. Have a look at a couple of their blog posts, or if they've done video, you can get a bit of an idea there. But a lot of professionals, for example, I offer a free 15-minute call to prospective clients.
Right.
A lot of professionals will do that. You know, if you're not sure about someone, feel free to book that call, get a sense of someone over the phone before you actually sign up for an initial appointment. And then you can decide if that person is a good fit for you.
Right. Thank you. And so you do have over 15 years of experience in changing life through better nutrition.
Yeah.
So who are your ideal client in regards to weight loss? Are your clients suffered from obesity, or are they just regular people looking for better ways to lose weight? So who are they?
You know, in Canada and in the US now, the majority of people, particularly women, are either overweight or obese. And often we're maybe just talking about 10 to 15 pounds, that kind of thing. You know, it may not be someone who is obese, but they may have struggled with this for a long time. They just don't feel comfortable. They don't feel comfortable in their own body. They don't feel comfortable in their clothing. They feel very frustrated because no doubt they've been often trying for years, maybe trying different approaches, and it hasn't worked for them, or maybe something's worked temporarily and then doesn't stay long term. And I think people are very frustrated. And then also I do see clients who have a lot of weight to lose. Maybe they're very concerned about their health. They may have some diagnoses already that they're trying to improve their weight so that hopefully also their risks for heart disease or diabetes will also reduce. And people who are feeling very frustrated and very alone in their battle against obesity. And then also I see people who are maybe very fit but just looking to maybe improve their weight in order to really maximize their performance in their sport. So I see a range of different people looking to lose weight. Sometimes the answer isn't actually weight loss. Sometimes it's actually just being comfortable in their body and learning that we can love and accept ourselves as we are, and becoming more mindful and intuitive about eating rather than seeing it always as a battle. So sometimes that's the answer. And sometimes that can go hand in hand also with weight loss.
Right. I love that. I love that. Accept yourself the way you are.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you the question that everybody wants to know, because I hear often people say, I want to lose weight, but I want to do it quickly and easy, and I don't want to exercise too much. So is there such ways to lose weight quick and easy and keep it off?
Well, I use two approaches in terms of weight loss usually. Okay. So really, we already talked about the idea of intuitive eating and becoming more friendly with yourself and more gentle with your body. So I think we need to always start with that approach and stop going to war with ourselves, you know.
Right. Stop comparing ourselves with everybody.
Others. That's right. Exactly. But in terms of weight loss, I use two approaches. I do believe that eating a high fiber diet is very useful in terms of weight loss and weight maintenance long term. That's not a quick weight loss strategy, but in terms of losing weight long term, and that means a shift towards a more plant-based diet, because plants are the only way that we get fiber. So shifting towards a plant-based or more plant-based diet is one strategy, but I also use intermittent fasting with clients. And usually for me, that means there's different ways to fast, but usually that means eating within a certain window of time.
Okay.
So I'll often start people on 12 hours just working, because some of us snack from the time we get up in the morning until the time we go to bed at night, you know? Yes. So just starting with 12 hours. If you eat your breakfast at 8 a.m., finish your evening meal by 8 p.m. Just start with that practice. And then maybe moving to 10 hours, and for some people, an 8-hour window of eating during the day. So maybe 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. For some people, this is very successful. And combining that with a more healthful eating pattern, high fiber, high in plants.
Okay. And what are the benefits of fasting?
So obviously there is a benefit in terms of weight loss, but there is also a benefit in terms of disease risk reduction in risk of developing diabetes, heart disease, and some types of cancers as well.
Okay. And it's really important, I think, to mention that don't try to fast alone without talking to a professional.
Yes.
There's a way to do it.
That's right. And I think actually for most of us, unless you have already been diagnosed with diabetes, for most of us, actually, I would say that you could start with a 12-hour window safely on your own. That's just really actually a fairly normal eating pattern to eat within 12 hours. So you could start with that even without seeing a health professional. But if you would like to go shorter than 12 hours in terms of your eating window of the day, it's useful to speak to a health professional.
Right. Yes. Thank you. And do you recommend everybody who wants to lose weight to go on a vegan diet, because you're vegan yourself? Is it the way to go, or?
Well, you know, I am vegan, and there's lots of different ways of eating a vegan diet. You know, French fries are vegan.
Yes.
Oreo cookies are vegan. So we need to be cautious and define what we mean by a healthful vegan diet. It's not to say that we can never have a treat like French fries, but if we're looking to lose weight, if we're looking to optimize health, we need to be sure that we're concentrating on eating mostly whole plant-based foods. And yes, I would say in terms of weight loss and in terms of long-term health, there is no better way to eat than eating a plant-based diet. Now, I will be honest, and I think that the research shows that eating more plants is beneficial. Do we have evidence to say that you must be completely vegan in order to be healthy? I'm not sure we do. I am vegan myself for health as well as environmental and ethical reasons. But in terms of just health and weight loss, I think a shift to being more plant-based or completely plant-based will definitely help. Do you need to become completely vegan for your health? It certainly will be helpful, but you could just start a journey toward being more plant-based if you're not ready to jump to being completely vegan.
Okay. And how do you start? What is the first food that you would say you should integrate that into your diet?
Well, I'm going to say two. I'm going to say greens and beans.
Okay.
Just think of greens and beans. Just eat greens and beans every day. If you're a bit afraid of beans, if you're thinking that beans maybe are going to cause gas or indigestion, just start with small portions. Sometimes people do better with lentils than beans. That's great. You have lentils, cook them very well. That can help with making them a bit easier to absorb. Sometimes blending. So for example, starting with hummus. Okay. Sometimes is easier because it's blended. It sometimes can be easier to digest, but start with adding like a lentil soup with lots of kale or spinach in it, or have hummus and dip some veggies in, that kind of thing. Just shifting to more greens, more beans. Add those things into your diet. In terms of weight loss and health, you cannot do better than including those foods more often.
So what does greens and bean do in terms of weight loss? Why greens and bean?
Well, they're extremely high in fiber. They're high in protein, and they're very high in micronutrients as well. So they're very healthful. They help us feel full even with small portions because of all the fiber. And they also don't really spike your blood sugar. You know how if you eat something that's maybe high in sugar, or even something like a more refined carbohydrate like bread or white rice or pasta, for some people they eat and then an hour later they want to eat again.
Right.
Because they've kind of had that spike in blood sugar and then they're chasing that feeling all day, you know. But if you have something that's a slower carb, a slower release carb like vegetables or beans, it sustains for a longer period of time, helps you feel full for longer, and doesn't keep you chasing that sugar rush.
Okay. So would you say sugar would be the thing to avoid then?
I think a little bit of added sugar can be okay.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't believe in completely restricting ourselves all the time. I will add a caveat that for some people, as soon as they have some sugar, it's a real problem for them in terms of emotional eating. Some people,
Right.
just a little bit of sugar, then they want more and more, and it turns
Mm.
into even maybe a binge. If you are a person who's in that situation, then at least for a while, completely avoiding added sugars is probably a good idea. But if you can enjoy sugar in moderation, then I think a little bit of sugar once in a while, small portions, is fine to enjoy that. Like having a plant-based brownie once in a week, like a black bean brownie or something like that once a week. It's great to have a treat, but not always adding added sugar into all of our foods. And it's interesting, even sauces often have a lot of added sugar. So making
Mm.
that transition to making more of our own food from scratch when we can, to better control the added sugar in our diet. Really, most processed food has added sugar, even if we see it as a savory food. Often like ketchup and sweet and sour sauce or any kind of sauce like that that you buy from the supermarket, if you look at the label, you'll probably see quite a lot of added sugar in it.
Okay. So incorporate greens and beans and
Yes.
avoid refined sugar, correct?
Yes. Or limit refined sugar anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
limit refined sugar. I like the way
Yes.
you put that.
Yes.
Because if we restrict ourselves, usually we won't stick to
We
the
don't
diet.
want to make it too difficult. But I do want to encourage everyone that our bodies are amazing, our taste buds are amazing, our microbiomes are amazing. And even within about a week or certainly 2 weeks, if you change the way that you're eating, you'll actually start to crave those healthier foods. Some people will tell you to avoid fruits. I don't believe that. I think enjoy fruits, and that can actually help you with reducing your refined sugar cravings.
Mm.
So, bananas, mangoes, these are fruits that are very high in natural sugars. So they may help with replacing that desire for added sugars. And even in 2 weeks, you'll see that you'll stop craving a lot of, or at least your cravings will be reduced. If you stick with more whole foods. A date is another wonderful treat
Yes.
to have once in a while. I love to take a really juicy medjool date and shove a nut inside, take the pit out, put a nut inside, and it tastes like a caramel. And it's a real treat, but it still is a whole food.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Ferguson, thank you so much. We're coming to the end of the interview, but I have just one more question for my own
Yes.
personal knowledge. What is the difference between a marathon and an ultra marathon?
So an ultra marathon is any distance longer than a marathon. So a marathon is 42 kilometers. So anything longer than that, like a 50-kilometer race or a 100-kilometer race, those are ultra marathons.
Okay. And you don't have to run marathon to lose weight, correct?
Absolutely not. In fact, sometimes people gain weight when running a marathon and
Why?
training for a marathon because they get so hungry from all the training.
Oh, okay.
So it's not, for some people, it is a good weight loss strategy, but for others, actually, they'll gain weight. So be active, but you don't need to train for a marathon to lose weight.
Okay. So before I let you go, you have a gift that you would like to give to the audience today. So what is the gift?
So I have a wonderful 5-day meal plan for people who are maybe looking, as we talked about, to transition to a more plant-based diet. You're looking to maybe kick some of those sugar cravings, and you just want to give yourself a fresh start, a healthy fresh start. So I have a 5-day meal plan, comes with all the shopping lists, all the recipes, and it's called the 5-Day Fresh Start, and it's available on my website.
Perfect. So, everybody who's listening, the link for the free gift for Dr. Fergusson is in the email you receive with this video. Just click on the link and you'll have access to the free gift. So again, Dr. Fergusson, thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting with you today.
Thank
And
you.
and thank you everybody at home for watching Foods That Heal. So I wish you all a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Vicki.
Bye.